Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with you today on a beautiful Monday from the Gold Coast, Australia, with some more Bitcoin technical analysis. And as you can see, Bitcoin is breaking out right now. No, I am joking. This is the S&P 500. So if anything, if this is anything to go by, that's what I meant to say. We can see that the S&P has been on an absolute tear. In the past, the S&P and Bitcoin have had a very good positive correlation. We've always wanted, as a crypto enthusiast, for there to be a decoupling from the traditional financial system, because what Bitcoin stands for is anti-government and anti-old traditional finance. The digital asset space is the new financial system. However, that being said, when we've gone through the bear market over the past 18 months, or let's say 12 months from the start of January, the S&P did the exact same thing. But as of late, it feels like the S&P just keeps roaring through. Look at this exponential run. It looks exactly like a bull market. But Bitcoin has not been able to do a similar thing. It's like we've decoupled from the S&P, which is, a little bit of a concern, because really, we wanted to decouple an increase in price while the traditional financial system goes sideways or down. But really, the traditional financial system has continuously gone up, and the crypto, or the highly speculative, high-risk assets such as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, have been kind of dormant, especially over the last 5 weeks. We can see that we've basically gone sideways for 5 weeks, and now we're waiting for one of the biggest moves to come. And why are we going to get a big move? Well, but first of all, we can see that the Bollinger Bands are tight as they can be. And if I go to the Bollinger Band width percentile, let me just remove one of my other indicators, like so. And let's put the Bollinger Band width percentile. We can see that on the weekly, the the volatility is at all-time low, meaning we are waiting for an exponential move. Now, because the S&P has obviously continued moving to the upside, and Bitcoin has remained above the 20-period moving average or exponential moving average on the weekly, I still do favor the upside. Doesn't mean that we can't go down, but I still do favor the upside more than the downside. I believe we should have at least one more pump to the upside, and it's going to be quite large, followed then by a 30 to 40% retracement. You can see that Bitcoin has basically held this trend line for quite some time now. And this trend line I should actually put in green because it's support. So we're just going to give it that support look. So Bitcoin, yes, in fact, can come down. But I do think that if Bitcoin does come down, the lowest will probably come down is around about 28,000. They're plus or minus $500. We'll probably, maybe get a decent wick below, because it's going to, freak everyone out. Everyone's then going to go short or sell their position. But I do expect this trend line to hold. It would seem very unlikely that the S&P has continued to rise, and even risk on assets like Bitcoin just go sideways. I think we need to bring back that positive correlation. I do think that if the S&P does continue to move up to all-time highs, we should see a similar thing with Bitcoin this week. So this week is definitely the week where I do expect there to be some volatility coming back. And hopefully we get that. And we can start, praising our altcoins, going back up to the moon, and diversifying our portfolio to make sure that we have a good investment, strategy for the upcoming bull market. So that's the view on the weekly timescale. On the daily, things are looking a little bit worse. You can see that we're in the bottom half of the Bollinger Band indicator. And normally when you're in the bottom end, we continuously move to the downside. And when you're on the upper end, we just continue moving to the upside. So right now we are in the bottom quadrant, and we've been hovering around this spot for quite some time. We are still below the value area low of the entire sideways range that we have been forming here for the last 5 weeks. So if Bitcoin does decide to go back to the upside, it's going to have a bit of right now it's struggling with 29,500. But if we can get through 29,500 and then break back above 29,800, I do expect us to reclaim the value area of this entire sideways range and then make a push to the upside. We may, before that, obviously, like I said, come back down to this trend line, and it kind of makes sense. We've had a very, very low volume. I could see this creating some sell pressure to the downside, scaring people out, retail investors out, providing a lot of liquidity in this zone. And that would give Bitcoin the perfect catalyst to then have a drive to the upside. We have a lot of buy orders at 28,500. If you look at heat maps, and even if you just go to any trading platform, so let's just say you go to Binance, we can probably see, let me just quickly go to Binance. We can probably see the buy orders actually on Binance, being the largest exchange. Let me quickly log into it, and we can maybe see where we have the majority of the liquidity. Oh, it decided to auto-populate it, of course. Okay, Authenticator app. Let me just quickly grab that. Here we are. Alrighty, so now that we're in Binance, oops, what's going on here? There we go, it's logged in. We'll go to the markets, trade, there we are, let's go spot. And when you look at a trading platform, you do have what's called the order book here on the left-hand side. And this tells you how much liquidity is at each interval. Now, you can change the intervals here on Binance. So you can go 1 cent, you can go 10 cents, $1, $10. I've just got the $100 mark set out here. And we can see that we have at 29,300, we have 130 Bitcoin to buy. So right now we're at 29,400. So if we do drop down, we can see that we have a fair bit of support at 29,300. And much lower, if we do break this sort of consolidation, we do have 65 Bitcoin at 28,600 and 28,000, and then 250 Bitcoin at 28,000. Apart from 28,000, the next lowest amount of Bitcoin is down to 10,000. We have 207 Bitcoin waiting to be bought. So on the sell side, we can see that at 29,500, we have 155 Bitcoin ready to be sold. So we have a bit of a sell wall and we have a buy wall. So that's the reason we've been trading between 29.3 and 29.5 today. You can see that these two big whales are sort of fighting amongst each other. So I like to really use these order books to kind of see where the majority of the buy and sells are, because that gives us a good indication of where support and resistance will be on the chart. But right now, Bitcoin is consolidating, but the longer it consolidates, the better, and the more the indicators reset. So right now, if we go back to Bitcoin and we look at the stochastic RSI, so stochastic RSI on the daily, we can see that the stochastic RSI is just now breaking back into the center range. So the low half of the range from 50% down is the bearish range, and then above that is obviously the bullish range. So we're just sort of creeping back into the bearish range because we were in the oversold territory for quite some time. So from basically the 18th of July. And right now, 2 weeks later, we're just coming out of that overbought territory. So what now? As I mentioned, quick wick down to this zone. I have a few buy orders here just to snap up some cheap Bitcoin if we do get a wick down. But if not, let's get ready for that pump. That pump is around the corner. S&P is going up. All the indicators have reset and now pointing to the upside. So unless we get some really bad news, it could be, I think we saw some news today about SEC banning Coinbase trading Bitcoin, something like that along the lines. That's going to continuously just bring more fear to the market and not give us the right sentiment to push to the upside. But normally when we have this consolidation, we tend to have good or bad news imminently ready to be dropped to cause either the capitulation in price or the pump to the upside. So there's always a saying, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But if you tell me the news, I'll also be able to tell you the chart. So we're just waiting for that one explosive news event to really start off this last phase of this mid-bear market rally. I still do think that high prices are going to come. I do expect us to at least probably get to $35,000 or $40,000 with a possibility of 50, which is the 618 retracement from the all-time high to the current lows that we did produce, and that's only because Bitcoin has done that in all previous bull markets. That being said, if it's done that in all previous bull markets and other people are looking at it, that also means that it might not happen, because this is what whales do. They look at market psychology. They have bots looking at the interwebs, the YouTube videos, what are analysts saying about where the price will go. And wherever the sentiment goes, they'll tend to do the opposite direction, because that's what they like to do. They like to play with our emotions. And unfortunately, as retail investors, we tend to be on the back end of this. This is why leverage trading is not recommended for beginners. Spot buying and selling is as far as you should go, because there's plenty of money to be made in the market with just spot orders. So from here, like I said, I do expect we could spend at least another we could technically spend another 3 weeks in this sideways range, which would be so boring. I do want to see this, select its direction today. We can see on the stochastic RSI, the moving averages has broken into the bullish zone. So above 50% is the bullish zone. The moving averages do look like they want to cross over, which is obviously quite a negative thing to occur in the price action. And you can see that this 62% zone has been, it's been an area where we did find support once upon a time. And support, could this offer resistance? Quite possibly. Could we roll over, or could we roll over, have a bit of a sell-off, come down to the 50% mark, and then move back to the upside? Look, time will tell. I can't predict the future, but what my indicators are showing is that we are still going to go up much higher than we will before we go low, much lower. So basically, at some point, we are going to get a 30 to 40% correction. I don't think it should be now or will be now. That would bring us all the way back down to 30%. Brings us back down to these lows of 22,000. Okay, great buying opportunity. If it does go down there, I'll be snapping up a whole lot of Bitcoin. And 40%, we're looking back down to this week at 19,500. So both are great buying opportunities, but I don't think this is the time for that pullback, especially with the normal stock market doing quite well. I do envision us to have one more push. Let's just say, hypothetically, we do come up to the golden pocket. Let's hit the top of the golden pocket. A 30% retracement gets us back to where we are now, okay, around about that $29,000 range. 40% retracement brings us back down to these lows here at 25,000. So either or, there's still a little bit of time left to buy crypto under 30,000, probably between now and the halving next year is what I forecast. So you've still got a bit, a good 6 months of cheap Bitcoin to buy, and then it's going to be limited returns for anyone entering the market at a later date. Guys, that's it for today's technical analysis. Before you go, check out the rotating banner below. We have an amazing event on Thursday at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time called The Future of Money. Check it out. Go to breakoutnow.co/future of money. You can watch an amazing presentation by Michael and Wasim on where the world economic system is going, why it's going digitized, why CBDCs are a bad idea for your financial future. Come learn, invite some friends, and we can't wait to see you there to share what new and improved systems are out there in order to make money, outrun inflation and hyperinflation out there, and help you live the life that you want. That's it from me. Catch you guys on the next video. Bye for now.